substance left a burning trail as it slid down his throat. "What? What the hell was that?"
"Jam,"
Rachel replied, barely holding back a laugh as she watched him. "No way!" Finn gasped. She glanced over at the nearby stall and the array of samples that were spread out across the table.
"Yep. Triple ghost pepper inferno.
Strawberry." Even the owner was chuckling as he watched the exchange. "The strawberry is subtle," Finn bit out, his eyes tearing up as they skimmed the crowd. What the hell was the point of lava jam anyway? Only at a farmer's market. But now he had a mission, at least. He needed to find some beer. However, Finn was interrupted in his quest as their children came running back, Julia in the lead and Grayson's taller, gangly form trudging along behind her. Julia snatched at Finn's hand, peering up at him excitedly.
"Daddy, there's a band. Dance with me?"
Finn followed her finger to see that a clearing opened ahead, the junk-filled tents ringing a makeshift dance floor, and the tang of country music drifting through the air. Finn's expression softened. "Sure thing, honey." He trailed off as he felt the device on his wrist vibrate. He tapped at the surface and saw a familiar name scrawled across the display. George Lane. Shit. "Just 1 second, Finn said to Julia, raising a finger. He could see the light in her eyes dim, a frown tugging at her lips.
"It's Saturday morning,"
Rachel interjected, glancing at the phone.
"Can't it wait?"
Finn could detect the sharpness in her voice, all trace of amusement gone in a flash. "It has to be some sort of emergency," Finn replied, glancing back down at the device. "Otherwise, why would he call?" Rachel just stared at him incredulously, giving him that look, the one that conveyed volumes in an instant.
"It's always an emergency,"
it said. "I'll just be a second," Finn said, before turning back to Julia and gesturing at the dance floor. "Your mom can fill in for me in the meantime. She's a better dancer anyway." Julia's eyes lit up, and she grabbed her mother's hand, tugging her toward the dance floor with surprising strength for a child.
"You owe me,"
Rachel mouthed at Finn before the group headed off towards the clearing. He nodded and gave her a lopsided smile. Finn tapped at the implant just below his right ear.
"Hello, Mr. Harris,"
a feminine voice spoke up immediately.
"Please give me a moment to connect Mr. Lane."
"Thank you," Finn responded distractedly, staring off after his family. He watched as his wife spun their daughter around the dance floor. He saw the smiles on their faces, the way their eyes seemed to shine, reflecting the soft morning sunlight. Grayson stood on the sidelines. He was just old enough now to be too cool to join his mother and sister, but he still watched their fun with poorly concealed interest. He felt a pang then, of regret, of indecision. He could just hang up the phone and ignore the call, blame it on poor reception. George could survive for a day, and he almost did. Yet before he could move, Finn heard a faint click, and George's voice echoed across the line. "Hi, Finn. Do you have a moment to talk?" Yeah, what's going on?" Finn asked, turning away from his family. There would always be another time, another day, another market. Rachel and the kids could wait for a few minutes while he took care of this. Chapter 1. Burning. Finn stood still, his palms together, his muscles loose, and his breathing even. The tips of his fingers slowly traced the faint scar at the base of his thumb. It was strange how real Awaken Online felt to him now. Even his scars, nicks and dents earned in the real world, they followed him here. A faint dusting of sand drifted across the courtyard, carried by a light breeze. The particles slid around his ankles, the only movement that broke the tension that hovered over the field. His eyes